How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be having a look at a little bit of an older one here from Corgi, of course, in 1/72 scale diecast. We have ourselves a Canadair Sabre F.1 here, and this is from 234 Squadron based at RAF Geilenkirchen in Germany in 1954. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I do not speak fluent German. The 234 Squadron was formed originally in 1918, flying the Felixstowe F3 and the Curtis H-12 as well in an anti-submarine role, but disbanded after the end of World War I, of course, reforming again in October of 1939, flying in various roles such as coastal patrol initially to scrambles and convoy protection, and finally bomber escort as World War II was coming to an end. It did disband once more in 1946, being merged with 266 Squadron. Now it reformed again in 1952, and in 1953 would receive its first Sabres here before the Hunter F4s would replace these Sabres in 1956, only a few years later. But following the 1957 white paper on British defence, the squadron was once more disbanded as part of the cutting down of the defence spending and the restructuring of the British military. The squadron number would come up once more as part of 229 Operational Conversion Unit as a reserve squadron until its disbandment once more, finally, in 1992. So we'll get this open. It's just got that little slip cover over the top and then this sort of standardized Corgi box here. We will slowly open that, and that reveals that right there. So it does have like this little piece of paper here that you can actually fold and then use that as a display in front of your model if you want to use that kind of thing. It does have a certificate. There is only 1,210 available. That is a weird number. Sometimes Corgi has some really weird product run numbers. I'm not sure the reasoning behind it, but yeah, it is always funny when there's a weird number. But this is that beautiful aircraft sitting in there. We'll get the lid off. It'll make some squeaky sort of noise. Sorry about that. Now this. All right. So obviously, being an older one, if you do like what you see today, the usual deal, you'll have to hunt on the interwebs to find one. So this is the stand. Both parts are plastic, and that's job done for that. It does have a little baggie that does have the landing gear options, of course. Now let us get our hands on this. All right. More noise, more noise. Oh, shit. Oh, bloody hell, that was in tight. All right. Oh, wow, this is really blue underneath. All right, let's have a little look. We'll zoom straight in and have a little look at some of these panel lines here. The camouflage scheme is really nicely done. Now you do have a pilot figure in here. Oh shit. The canopy obviously slides back, so you can check out that little pilot figure in there. Man, that is really well done too. You got all the hands picked out, the face picked out, the helmet, even the life jacket and the flight suit. Wow. But it is a little bit floppy. Let's see if there's any gauge detail in there. There looks to be a little bit of gauge detail in there. That is really nice. Yeah, so far, impressed with this Corgi Sabre for sure. Definitely looks really nice. Yeah, that is cool. It's got beautiful markings along the fuselage. The engine details aren't too bad. The overall build, very nice so far. I reckon it does look fantastic. All right, let's go back and have a little look underneath there. That blue, that is a lot of blue there. So it is set up for in-flight, obviously, straight out of the box. That does look awesome. So, straight out of the box, this is what your cool Sabre is going to look like. It does look absolutely insane. Is there anything in there? There is a little bit of It's really hard to see some of that detail inside the nose there. It's got a bit of turbofan detail in there. Hopefully you can actually see it. The putting it on the stand, very, very easy. You just stick it on in the stand hole as per usual. As you can see there, it looks like it's got opening air brakes as well, which is a pretty good feature. You don't often get that with a Corgi model. And this is your awesome looking Sabre on the stand. It looks bloody fantastic. It's a really good effort actually by Corgi. So of course we need to put this on its landing gear. So we'll go off and do that, and we'll come right back. Okay, so here we have this awesome looking Corgi Sabre here, set up, gear down. It's very straightforward. Hopefully this blue isn't playing up with the camera. Sometimes some colours do. You put your nose wheel in. There is a little gear bay door that you put there. And there's a piece that you put in here that gives you access to some areas underneath the cockpit there, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, you've got a little piece that goes in there for those gear bay doors, and then you put your individual wheels on either side. The wheels themselves, like the nose wheel rolls, these main wheel rolls as well. So with Corgi models, if you like to roll them around, you can. And of course, you get to put some air brakes in the open position, and it's got some amazing detail in there as well. So I mean, if you want to get even more fussier, you could probably pick out some of that with some other colours, the cables and the wires and stuff like that, and the piping there. That does look pretty cool. But overall, yeah, it's another really nice job here by Corgi. They do these aircraft quite well. I am pretty impressed with it. So, yeah, you'll be definitely pretty happy if you can get your hands on one of these. They look really nice. I suppose we should, well, put it on the scales. What do you reckon? So we'll move the scales in. We'll move this out of the way and bring in the scales of diecast justice. And we'll chuck it on those scales and see how much she does weigh. All right. All right, that's 185 grams, which is fantastic. That's not too bad weight. And I mean, the model is not huge, but I reckon it does have a ton of detail. If I can move my fat ass hand out of the way so you can actually see it. But yeah, no, this has got a lot of detail that normally the Corgi models don't have. So I am really impressed with the build quality of this particular model from Corgi. They do have all these little bits and pieces that open up. It is pretty darn cool. All right, of course, if you think it's as cool as I think it is, don't forget, throw me some of those. That'd be awesome. And if you're watching, you haven't subscribed, you know, that'd be nice if you did that as well. I will take some photos of this great looking model here and throw them on at the end of the video, so you can check this out in a little bit more detail without these fingers all over it. If you feel like saying something to me, whether it's about the model or anything else, drop a comment below. All right, everyone, I'll finish up by saying, as per usual, thank you so much for dropping past the channel. I really appreciate everyone that does, and I hope you enjoyed this Corgi model today. All right, you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.